welcome to a new vlog. I have brought Molly to Josh's. She is here. The vet has seen her this morning. You're putting funny faces at everybody. But she's very, very happy. So this is the setup. She's got a lovely big stable. She's got a window at the back. She's got a big manger there. This is the barn. So she's got horses all around her here, which is just perfect. But once she can have a little bit more movement, there is a really big stable for her through here, which is going to be perfect when she's allowed to move around a bit more. So let me just show you. In here, she can come in here and have all of this space to herself, which is perfect. And then there's a turnout pen right here. And then through here, and look, we can see her. There she is. There's the girl. It's such a great setup. And then they've got a horse walker here for when she's allowed to do circles. She's not allowed to do circles for a while. It's straight lines only. But they have an arena that she can do straight lines in, which is just through there. So it really, really, really is the perfect setup. I've got a fly on my face. I spoke to Mel, her previous owner, today and was talking it through, and she was like, Charlie, that just sounds absolutely perfect for her, because they've got a paddock here for if and when she's allowed out in a bigger space, which will either be here or when she comes back to us. But they've got this turnout pen, so she'll be able to go in there. And it's just a perfect setup. So I'm really pleased, although I am going to miss just being able to pop down the garden to see her. I'm really pleased that she's here in such great hands and already very happy. And because she's been here before, she knows exactly where she is. She's got her head in the manger thinking, Mummy, this is perfect. Thank you for bringing me here. And it's so lovely. She's got this lovely ventilation all the way through. So it's a perfect setup. So we will be back in a few days' time for the vet to do the bandage change, take the staples out of her leg, and then slowly we can start the road to recovery. But I just wanted to share with you where she is. Now I'm going to go and jump in the car, manoeuvre the trailer, and head home. Hello. Quick car chat while I'm driving down our little lane. Right, Molly is settled at Josh's, which is great. I have just been cooking a recipe for my members club, and then I ended up being on a phone call for over an hour, which is one of the projects that I'm working on, which I'm really hoping maybe in like 3 or 4 weeks time I can share it with you guys. It's exciting, it's scary, it's like the biggest leap with my business that I have ever done, and it is utterly terrifying, but I hope that you guys love it. And I have been beavering away since January, and it's super exciting. So unexpectedly being on the phone, I just sent her an email and was like, is there any chance we can chat this through? And she was like, yeah, now. And it ended up being a long one. So that is why I haven't chatted to you at home, because I have been otherwise occupied. But I haven't told you this either. Simon and I are renewing our wedding vows. And this is something that I'm going to tell you more about later, because we don't have time right now. It's something that I have wanted to do ever since our wedding day, over 18 years ago. And when we moved to our new house last year, it is so beautiful. It is such a magical spot. And I said to Simon, when we finally do that, when we finally renew our vows one day, can we do it here in the garden? And we're doing it. It's very low key. It's pretty last minute, because I said to Simon literally 2 weeks ago, we've thrown it together very quickly. I said to him 2 weeks ago, I really just want to do it, darling. If we can just pick a date, and the church is free and the vicar's free, and can we do it before the children go back to school? And he was like, yes, let's do it. We found a date, the vicar was free, the church was free, and we sent a message out to our friends inviting them for lunch. Most of our friends don't know that the lunch is because we are renewing our vows and having a little bit of a celebration afterwards. We've kept it very, very quiet. I'm not going to be walking down the aisle. We're just having a very kind of private, short, intimate service, and I will be sharing snippets of it with you next week. So I'm going to the hairdressers for an updo, a practice updo ahead of the day next week, because I don't want to be stressed. And whenever I do my hair for like the races or something like that, I get hot and bothered, I get stressed, I end up getting in a sweat. I'm not a hairdresser. I don't have the easiest hair to deal with, and so I thought we're taking the stress out of all of this and I'm going to the hairdressers. So that is what we're off to do, a little practice. I might, if I've got time, be able to pop into the antique centre in Petworth and have a quick look around there. But I wanted to chat to you at home, fill you in more, but there wasn't time because I was stuck on the phone. But anyway, I'll be back with you later. What a lovely little time I've had in Petworth. Garden Gate is a shop that I have just been into for the first time. Wow, it's lovely. And I come away with some flowers for the snug because we had some lilies in there in a vase in the window and they looked so beautiful. But of course they didn't last that long. And I thought that these would look really pretty. So I'm going to zhuzh them up, arrange them and pop them there. And just everything in that shop is beautiful, really beautiful. Lovely hairdresser that I met. She's doing my hair next week for the big event. And I had a quick whiz round Petworth Antique Centre, but nothing caught my eye. So it's time now to jump in the car, head home, and I am probably going to play mum taxi for a bit. So we will either chat later or we will chat tomorrow, and I will fill you in on why my husband and I are renewing our wedding vows, because there is a good reason and I'm going to share it with you. So sorry, you're a little bit wonky, but you're on the ottoman, which isn't level. But I've brought the flowers in and I've arranged them in this vase and popped them there. I haven't drawn the curtains. Let's draw the curtains and let's chat. So, I have just been in here editing and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to chat to you. Simon is actually on the phone next door. It's offending me that you're wonky. Hang on, I'm just going to put you on the floor. You are in a tripod. Just going to put you there and fill you in. I think you're still wonky, but anyway, sorry about the wonk. So, how has this all come about to us renewing our vows? It's not because there's been an upset. It's not because there's been a tiswas. It's not because anybody has had an affair or done anything like that. It is because I don't have very good memories of our wedding day. In fact, for me, it was a pretty traumatic day. That might sound a bit dramatic, but it was. Marrying Simon was the best thing I ever did. And that has kind of, I just try and focus on that when I think of our wedding day. My mother was very, very, very out of sorts and thrown by the whole thing and didn't behave brilliantly. And my mum was the most incredible person in many, many, many ways. She taught me so much. She was phenomenal. But she had a very, very difficult marriage to my father, who was not an easy man, and it really damaged her. And their divorce went on for 9 years, and it was very, very acrimonious. I dread to think of the money that was spent on solicitors. There were so many court injunctions against my father to stay away and to stop corresponding, and he ignored all of it. And Mum was really damaged and became very kind of codependent of me and my brother. And when Simon proposed, she was thrilled. She did say, because of the age gap, that we should have 4 seasons together, so go through a whole year before we got married. So we respected that and we did that. And she was amazing for the first 6 months. And then she turned into mother of the bride from hell. And I wish I had had the gumption to call off our wedding at home, because I wanted it. I'd always, as a little girl, I'd always wanted the fairy tale wedding of getting ready in my bedroom, of going to the local church and then having a reception at home. And that, to be honest, was too much for Mum to cope with. And I should have seen that. And I do feel bad that I didn't see that. And I should have realised that my dream wasn't going to be okay for her. And because she was so amazing for like the first 6 months, I was like, this is going to be okay. We can do this. This is going to be wonderful. And then it just became too much for her. And it kind of, in a way, I think blew her mind. And when I tell people what happened on our wedding day, I think they think I'm making it up. And I'm really not. In fact, I think I'm underplaying it, if anything. I was 45 minutes late for the church. A great friend of ours reminded me of that the other day. And Simon was like, wow, she was really late. But I never once had a moment of thinking that she wasn't going to turn up. My mother disappeared the morning of our wedding. I was getting ready at home. Suddenly she'd gone. Had no way of getting in touch with her. She didn't really use a mobile phone, and she left it at home anyway. I had no way of contacting her, and she disappeared for 3 hours. And she waltzed in like nothing had happened 5 minutes before I was due in the church and was like, why aren't you ready? I breathed very deeply, and I can't even remember what I said. I think I was just flabbergasted. I was not ready at all. I was not in my wedding dress. I don't know if my hair had been done, maybe not my makeup. I can't remember. Anyway, we got me ready as quickly as I possibly could. I didn't even look in the mirror with my veil and my wedding dress on. My best friend helped get me ready. It was really stressful. And I arrived in a real fluster, feeling really angry. And then we never had any official photos because Mum wouldn't stand still for long enough to actually have proper photos taken. There was a drama at dinner. There was a drama over the candles. There was a drama over this. I'd organised for minibuses to transport everybody, to park in the village and to transport everyone down because parking was limited. And Mum cancelled the minibuses, and it had taken so much organisation. Cancelled all the minibuses, and the parking, and said the field's dry enough for people to park and it's absolutely fine. They can park in there. Well, they sunk. The cars sunk in the field. There is no mobile reception at home whatsoever. It's in a valley. And Mum locked herself in the house, having pulled the plug on the electrics to stop the band because she thought the music was too loud. She locked herself in the house and wouldn't let anyone in to use the phone. And there was one couple in particular whose son wasn't very well and was with a babysitter, and they couldn't get their car out. They couldn't leave. They were trapped with their son not very well, and it was not okay. And luckily, a family member sorted Mum out, and we got a tractor to pull people out. And then the following morning, we stayed at home. We had our first night at home, in one of the holiday lets, and which was beautiful. And it just made sense that we stayed on site, and then we were going off on our honeymoon the following day, and Mum disappeared the following morning, so I couldn't even say goodbye to her before going off on my honeymoon. And then we landed on our honeymoon to phone calls from the police because Mummy said that some things had been stolen. So, and there's more, but those are like the major things. And it was really tough. It was really tough. I was really affected by it because you always think of your wedding day being this wonderful, magical time, and it was far from that. So I've always said to Simon, I said to him on our honeymoon, darling, it was a wonderful day marrying you, but that was tough, really tough for me, and I had no idea that Mum was going to be so bad. She was ruined my hen party as well, and she wasn't even at it, but that's another story. And poor lady just couldn't cope. She couldn't cope at all. She was scared of losing her only daughter. She was in a really difficult place, and I understand that now. I didn't understand it at the time, and it's amazing how with age and being a parent yourself, you can look back, you can have understanding, you can have empathy. And I've always said to Simon, please, can we renew our vows at some point? And we've talked about it for 18 years. And when we moved here last summer, it is such a beautiful, beautiful spot. And, we'd been through a tough time coming to the decision to kind of downsize and move here and all of that. And I said to him, darling, please, can we renew our vows here at some point, in the not too distant future? And he was like, absolutely, we can. And we're doing it. We are doing it. There's been a lot, as you guys know. I've had my project on, I've had the other project, and there's been a lot going on this year. So it's been a bit of a kind of, had a few dates in mind. We'd put it off. We did actually, have a date, and then had to kind of postpone because I was away. And then I just said to Simon before the end of the summer, can we just do it? Can we just pick a date? And so we are going to our local church where the children were all christened. We are having a very intimate service. I'm not walking down the aisle. I am not 100% sure even what I'm wearing. I have two options, and I don't want to feel too bridey, so I might not go with the first one. It's not my wedding dress, don't worry. I'm not digging that out, and I don't think it will do up anymore. But that dress was part of my wedding. I changed into it out of my wedding dress. There are no pictures of me wearing it. I don't think there are any. There might be one. I may have seen one picture of me in that dress on our wedding day. So I might wear that for like nostalgia, and then I might come back and change. So we have invited some friends for a lunch. And in the invitation, we didn't say that we were renewing our vows. We have got a few people coming to the church, and then we've invited some people for lunch. And There are a few more people that now know the reason for the lunch. And I just didn't want to make it a big thing, but I want to have a special service with my husband, who, and I know it's really corny, we really, really, really do love each other. And I just want to tell him that again. I want to then look back on this day that we are having with wonderful memories, with a warm heart, and then hopefully those other memories, I didn't think I was going to get emotional about this, hopefully those other memories will fade, because I've kind of buried all that stuff, and it's tough, and I'm getting upset because I am upset that my mum had been so affected by her marriage and was very fragile and very broken, and that's why I'm upset, because that to me is heartbreaking that somebody is in that position. And this is just going to be a really special service. I will share some snippets of it with you. I shall share a bit of the preparation with you. I very much want to keep a lot of it just us, and the children won't feature online. But they'll be very much part of the day, and I think that is really special to have them there, and just to have a really happy day, a really, really happy day, 18 years on from when we got married. So that is a long ramble as to why we are renewing our wedding vows, and it feels really appropriate to do it now, and to do it here, and in the way that we're doing it. So I'm really excited. So that has taken up a little bit of my time planning. Not a lot of my time, but a little bit of my time. And I was supposed to be creating content on my series of sharing tips and advice for young people going off to uni or leaving home for the first time. That will resume, but this has kind of slightly overshadowed it, planning the day. And we've got a friend of Simon's who has a band, a very, very dear special friend of Simon's. They go way back, and he's coming with his band to play some music in our garden, and it's just going to be a fun, happy, lovely afternoon. Hopefully the weather is okay, but what will be, and we will just go with the flow. And so that is that. Anyway, I'm going to stop prattling to you because I have got my laptop here. I need to compress, I need to upload, I need to sort out, so that's another kind of 15-20 minutes of work that I need to do before going to bed, and it's 10 to 10 in the evening. But I just wanted to fill you guys in, and I'm really excited. And yeah, I think love is to be celebrated, and marriage is wonderful. It has its ups and downs, it has its hurdles, it has its challenges. Communication is key. Talking to one another, understanding, having empathy, being kind are really, really important skills. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about relationships, and she and I were talking about, if you grow up in a house where a relationship is not a happy one, then that, when you have children, that's their normal, and you have to make a concerted effort to change that narrative. And my friend also grew up in an environment where it wasn't an easy dynamic, and it was far from easy with my parents, and I have had to do a lot of work to ensure that my children have a happy home, and that we communicate in a good, positive way. And so there is love and understanding and empathy and kindness and respect. Those are all really, really, really important things to me and to Simon. And Simon, again, didn't have the regular childhood, and I think that's where it's amazing how you end up with somebody that can understand you and can understand your path, and I think that's when it works. And we both had witnessed not great scenarios and wanted to have a different experience, a different relationship, a different marriage ourselves, one of communication and kindness and love. And so it feels really special that we're doing this. And that's an even longer ramble. I've just carried on prattling, but I just wanted to explain that to you guys. And I think, as I just said a moment ago, love is to be celebrated and enjoyed and not taken for granted. And I think that is the most important thing. It is not taking either party for granted. And you know, I love it when Simon says, "Thank you, darling, that was a delicious meal," or "Thank you for doing my laundry," or whatever it might be. Those words go such a long way, that he doesn't take what I do for granted. And it makes me want to love and look after him more, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I've got a new water bottle from that lovely shop. I haven't had a drink. I'm just on the water, and totally rambling. But for now, I'm going to top up this water bottle. It's very pretty, pale pink, and compress my video. And I will prattle on more to you in the coming days as we prepare for our special occasion. I've just got a random tip for you. I promise I'm going to be quick. Now, my mascara has got a little bit dry. I'm waiting for the new one to arrive, but to eke it out, I've just put a tiny drop of water on my finger and then in there, and then it's just loosened it up. An absolute treat. So now I can pop my mascara on. Oh, I've now put a bit up there. Get that off. But I just wanted to share that little hack with you. I have got a super busy day. I'm probably not going to vlog very much today. I have got 2 pretty big meetings this morning, and then Gus's best friend and his mum are coming for lunch in the afternoon. They live miles away, and I love them. I absolutely love them. So I'm going to enjoy their company. And then I think this evening I'm going to be making more apple and blackberry jam. I might have already told you this, but I might not, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. I just thought it would be a really lovely idea to make little jars to go on the table for our friends that are coming to our lunch. So I have got, I'm going to aim to make 55 jars. I've already made 41. So, you know, the end's in sight. Simon was he was visiting his best friend who's had an operation. And he was visiting him in London, and he said, "Darling, I'm not going to be home till really late. I'm going to spend the evening with him." And so I took the chance to just make jam. So I did 2 batches, and that, because they're little jars, that was that. So that was really good. Did I do 2 batches? Maybe I did 3 batches. I can't remember. Anyway, I did a lot of batches that day. So yes, so I'll probably make another batch this evening is my plan. And then tomorrow we are having a big day of sorting, organising, tidying up the garden, making sure it looks pretty, etc, etc. But for now, I am whizzing to the post office to post orders. I am whizzing into Tesco's to get a few bits for lunch, and then I'm coming back because I've got my meetings. So it's go, go, go. I got up at 5:45 because I knew I had to squidge a lot into today, but I just wanted to share that little hack. Just a tiny bit of water, not like drops, just a small drop, and it works an absolute treat. We are going to put a little bit of Freddie on the lips with a little bit of Elizabeth Arden. Haven't done eyebrows. Do I need to do eyebrows? Maybe I should just quickly. I've got lovely Andrea whizzing the hoover around. I think I told you guys I decided that on a Friday, rather than me spending the day cleaning, which is what I was doing, I was going to outsource because I needed to use my time more wisely. And whilst I actually love cleaning, I would rather do it. I'd rather not be stressed. And so I have Andrea for a few hours on a Friday just to have a little bit of a blitz. So she is vacuuming downstairs, which is amazing. But anyway, I'm going to fly. I told you I was going to be super quick, and that's not so quick. But anyway, I will chat to you either later or tomorrow now. So it's very exciting. I am back in the saddle. Simon dropped me off at Indies and I'm riding Fifi home. Coco's back from her holiday tomorrow, and I thought it'd be really lovely if Fifi was at home waiting for her. So that is what I've done, and actually I really love her. She's such a sweetheart. I already feel really confident on her, and yeah, she's gorgeous. I'm going to enjoy my ride, and yeah, such a beautiful evening. It's a bit cooler now. It's been stiflingly hot today. Some beautiful fields, and horses turned out grazing over there, but I'm going to enjoy having a little trot. I might even brave a canter through the woods, but yeah, it's just really exciting, the start of this hopefully wonderful adventure with Fifi. And it's lovely that she's just so local, and that Indy's already part of our lives as Coco's teacher and knows obviously this one inside out. And it's just all, I don't know, I can't believe how things work out, the twists and turns of life, hey. But anyway, so I've had such a lovely day. I had chatted to you briefly earlier, and then Gus's friend and his mum, who's become a really dear friend of mine, came for lunch. It's such a lovely lunch, and now I get to do this, which is really exciting. She's such a sweetheart. We even braved a canter through the woods and up the track. Just such a poppet. It's so lovely to be back riding. I didn't realise how much I'd missed it, and that feeling of the wind in your face as you're having a canter along. Not brave enough to film and canter yet. I need to get to know her far better before I do any of that, but that was really lovely. And yes, very happy, really excited. Kind of slightly secretly hoping that Coco doesn't get home too early tomorrow and I can ride her again tomorrow, because then I'm not sure I'm going to get a look in for a while. Anyway, we are heading up the hill, down the hill, and then we're home. It's such a short distance. Good morning and happy Saturday. I am in the party barn. We're not going to have our party in here unless the weather is torrential, and then we might need to come in here, but I'm hoping that it's not. But the children have got a party soon, and I just thought I'd give you a little update. I've got sun lounger covers on there, so they shouldn't really be there. We've had a bit of a tidy, a bit of a sort in here, and we have a bar area. Nigel has built it, and I'm very excited about it. The children designed it with Nigel, and it's got bar area, because I want to have a lot of teenage parties here. This is a party barn, it's the house of fun, and so I thought with that in mind we needed a bar area for the party barn. So Arch's about to be 17, and so I think we might be celebrating that. So I've got my gloves on, I've got bri wax, and I'm just going to make it a little bit darker and seal it. Has had one coat of seal, but I just thought that actually it might look and fit in here a little bit better if it was a little bit more rustic looking. So that is what I'm about to do. I think it's going to take a while. I'm going to put a really good podcast on. And in other news, I have brought Fifi in to her stable. She's quite sensitive, this one, and she's slightly rubbed from her fly mask. So I've popped some pseudo cream on, and she's got slightly gunky eyes that I need to wipe. But I thought she could have her fly mask off and she could be in the stable. It's not hot today, but you've got a big hay net, haven't you, sweetheart? Yes. and Coco is on her way back from the airport, so she will be here soon, so I better get waxing the bar. Good morning. It is such a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. I am letting Si have a bit of a lie-in at minding the dogs this morning. He always takes them on their morning walk when I'm doing the horses. But I was up. I couldn't sleep. I knew that the sun was shining. And I just thought, get on. I've just literally thrown on yesterday's clothes because I'm about to go and muck out. So there's no point putting on clean clothes, and I shall shower, get ready, and we're going to church this morning. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. Yesterday was a really productive day. You know, when you have days where you just, I don't know, you're just on fire and you just get a whole load of stuff done. It's just at home. And Florence, no, look, I've got 4 dogs on the loose, but hopefully no one is coming up our lane anytime soon. We only get a few cars a day anyway, at the best of times, and at 7:15 on Sunday morning, it's unlikely for anyone to be driving along. Anyway, I digress. Just yesterday was such a productive day. I'll show you around of what we got up to and what we got done ahead of the party. But sometimes it's a really good excuse when you've got like something happening or people coming over to have a bit of a good sort out and do all the jobs that you've put off for ages. Like the vet's bed from when we had Lola's puppies. Just needed packing away. So I packed it away. Made such a difference. And just silly little things like that. So I had a big tidy up down by the stables. When we moved the saddle horse out of the tack room, it was just sort of dumped in the barn. I've actually taken that down to the stable area. And all the rugs that fit Fifi are on there. They're fraction small, but they're okay. I think she'll grow a bit, but in time I can replace them. So she's right bang in between Molly and Santana, rug size. Typical, isn't it? So that was really productive. Really good, clean, organised rejig in the barn. I dusted down all of the furniture. I polished it. I did the bar area. The front might need another coat or two. I'll see how it's looking today. So that was a really kind of good job done. Had a big sort out in the outside utility. Got that kind of all just ship shape. I think Mum used to say ship shape and Bristol fashion. I'm not sure what that meant, but anyway, not sure what the Bristol fashion bit is. So that was good. I then went and picked Coco up. She had a lovely, lovely holiday, and then she went for a hack. And I said, oh, do you want me to come on the bike? Because it's kind of her first hack from home. And a hack, sometimes people ask me why I call it a hack. A hack is a ride in the countryside. It might be a bit of road work, it might be lanes. We're really lucky. We have this lane and then these woods here. We can ride for hours and not see anybody, which is utter bliss. So a hack is a ride in English countryside, or the countryside, or an out and about ride. A ride, it's like a ride at home, like you might be riding in the arena. Not that we have an arena, but you know what I mean. So a hack's sort of out and about. Anyway, I really am in a funny mood this morning. So I said, would you like me to come with you on the bike? And she was like, yeah, that would be lovely. We didn't talk that much, but it was just so lovely being with her. Florence, no, we're not sneaking under gates. Little monkey. Normally it's Penny that's adventurous. And just look at that. It's just stunning, stubble field. Anyhow, I literally had to stop for a moment and just say thank you for all the blessings. Like watching my daughter riding on a horse again, because it's been such a long time. Like, she did have to keep Molly in exercise for a while, but that was literally just walking. And poor Coco having to ride a horse that you know is injured and you're not going to be out competing, and you're not going to, you know, it's really hard to ask a 15-year-old to kind of do that. So, you know, whilst she did it absolutely, you know, and did exactly what the vet told her to do, it's really disheartening. So being out with her and watching her ride Fifi and watching her, I don't know, just full of excitement and anticipation for what's to come and this partnership. And then just the ground's too hard, so she just trotted across the stubble field. And then there were some ducks that flew over. And then there were a few deer. And I just stopped on the brow of the hill last night and thought, wow, I am so lucky. I am so unbelievably lucky and grateful for all that we have. And I think it's really important just to take a moment and say thank you. And I'm really excited. You know, it's almost our lunch, our vow renewal, our celebration, and I'm really excited. Anyhow, I just thought I'd share that with you. Because a lot of you guys who have been here for a long while have known that, you know, I've put on a brave face. I've been as chipper as possible, but actually things have been pretty damn tough. And ever since we made the decision to move and to change things up, things are just falling into place, and it's good right now. And when it's good right now, you have to hold on to that, enjoy it, and actually stop and savour the moments rather than take it for granted. I think that's so important, because we can all just get wrapped up and take it for granted. And I think when things are good, it's really important to stop and to say thank you. So anyway, that is this morning's ramble. I'm going to crack on and enjoy my dog walk with these girlies, and then go and do the horses and get ready for... Oh, and I know why I'm really excited. It's Sunday morning. That means croissants, and now my apple and blackberry jam. I've just had to wait 18 months because I didn't make any last year to enjoy my favourite Sunday morning breakfast. A croissant with salted butter. Yeah, I know you don't really need the butter, but I love butter. A croissant with salted butter and apple and blackberry jam. It is the best thing in the entire world. Anyway, I'm going to try and make lots more jam. Try and make definitely a batch later. Anyway, yeah. Good morning. I'm here doing Tora's leg and mucking out, and Tora's been sharing her breakfast with this little kid goat who's very self-assured to come and share breakfast with her, but it's lovely. They are getting on famously, which is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I need to do my morning stable duties, so I'm going to keep going. But yeah, I've just put some ointment on her leg. This is her leg, which is looking pretty good. So yeah, anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. I am here at Josh's in Molly's stable with the vet and Coco, and we've just taken her staples out. She's been amazing, no sedation. I just held up her front leg and the vet just tweaked the staples out. It's healed really well. We are going to bandage it. Well, I'm not going to say we, that's the role. Sophie's going to bandage it. Keep it bandaged for a few days, but it's looking really good. She is so settled and happy here at Josh's, and she's really chilled, and it's great that she knows the setup here. She is eating her haylage, so she's doing really well, and I just thought I'd give you a little update, but all is good and happy. That's what we want. So having spent the morning with Molly, I am now here at lunchtime with Coco having a flat work lesson with Indy. They're doing their first dressage test tomorrow, so we have come up for a little bit of a practice. Fifi is such a delight. She just loads herself. She's really straightforward. She's really easy. And yeah, it's just makes a big difference. Molly was pretty easy, although sometimes she'd hesitate and think about loading. But this one is just an absolute dream so far, and it's really lovely that it's all just so local and so easy. But anyway, I'm going to concentrate and enjoy watching their lesson. So I haven't vlogged yet today because it has been busy. It's been crazy. Actually, if I'm perfectly honest, I was feeling a little bit fragile this morning. I had a couple of glasses of rosé last night, and rosé just doesn't agree with me. No matter how often I try, I really should learn my lesson. But I had a 2-hour meeting this morning, and now I'm here being mum groom, and God, I've missed being mum groom. Coco's doing her first dressage on Fifi, and it is time to get her on board and go and warm up. But Fifi is just an absolute poppet, and it's lovely to be here. So Coco's just warming up, and I thought I'd have a little chat with you guys. I haven't showed you around at home to show you what we've done to get set up for our celebration. But I will do, I promise. It's just been a bit hectic trying to get Gus ready to go back to school, trying to organise stuff. I also had this meeting today, which I've had to probably spend about 5 or 6 hours preparing for. And then it went on for 2 hours, and I came out of that meeting literally feeling like I'd been in a round with Mike Tyson. I was just like, completely brain overload. I had to make what felt like 100 decisions in 2 hours, like pretty big decisions. There were 4 of us in total on the meeting, and yeah, it was quite a lot, to be perfectly honest. And I think with that and trying to get ready for our celebration and everything else, it's just been a little bit full on. So I came out of that meeting, needed to decompress, and then I needed to go and drop off some vases with my friend Shah, who is doing the flowers for us. And I'm dressed for dinner, which is a local company run by a lovely friend who has very kindly lent me bud vases, napkins and placemats and things like that. She's bringing the rest over tomorrow, but I took the bud vases to Shah today, and she's going to bring the flowers over tomorrow. So it's all like coming together, and tomorrow I will be a lot better at vlogging, I promise. I've had Beth at home today, and I have put Beth as like head. She was like, what would you like me to do? And I was like, I'd like you to be a wedding planner, Beth. I'd like you to like oversee, like Frank from Father of the Bride. You are Frank for this occasion. And Beth has actually done our order of service. Well, I did the order of service. She has made it look beautiful, and it's gone to the printers because I just thought it was nice to kind of have a little thing that people could take away with them. There's not many people coming to church at all, but it was just nice. But like, I needed to do something for the vicar anyway, and Beth has just made it look absolutely beautiful. Sent it over to the printers. I will pick those up tomorrow. And it's all just coming together really nicely, but today was just brain overload too much. So actually it's really nice to come here and totally decompress, watch Coco ride, and you know, there's no pressure, it's really low key. I'll just spin you around, a couple of grass dressage arenas and a handful of people here, so it's a perfect first outing for them. I think she needs to focus on precision. But
yeah, but for the first attempt, it's pretty good. Good place to start.
Thank you. So we are home after a really, really happy outing. I'm thrilled with how they got on. They did brilliantly, and it's only Coco's second dressage test this year. There's a lot of room for improvement, particularly on technique and circle size and what have you. We don't have an arena at home for her to practice in, so it's quite difficult like gauging the right size circle and what have you. So lots to work on, but they did brilliantly. They actually came first, but there were only a few of them in the class. But I'm really, really thrilled. My driving has been put through its paces today, big time. It wasn't really clear where the exit was, and I've never been when we went today. And there was a sign. I thought that maybe it was up there, but once I got up there, I realised that the track that I was on turned onto a proper dirt track going to goodness knows where. So I had no choice but to reverse back. I did actually have a hot sweat, a hot flush moment. Opened the windows, put the fan on. I was like, really narrow and a bit of a drop on one side. So it was a bit tense. And then I have just reversed the trailer in preparation for our party. I was like, while I'm hitched up, just do it now. Just do it now. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. So I've just reversed from the lane to the stables. I've got to go through 2 gateways, and it's quite tense, to be honest. It's a little bit like you need somebody to watch you, really. Maybe I could do it without anyone watching me, but I probably need to do it a few more times just to really like get it in my head. And the ground here is not flat, so there's, you know, undulations to maneuver around and over and whatever, and then like up a hill through a gateway. A bit stressful, but I've done it. And Fifi's just having a supper. Coco was poo picking her little paddock, and Fifi's actually going back to Indies tomorrow. Coco's going to hack her there because Indy had already entered a competition with her, and we thought it was a great experience for Indy to take her. So that is what they're doing. So she's going back to Indies, which actually works out perfectly because we've got our party. And then when she comes back, we're going to move their paddocks back up to the top. So she'll go up into a new paddock up there when she gets back. I can see that Coco has just finished the marking out. I can see in my wing mirrors her pushing the wheelbarrow. So I am going to go and help her. I'm going to go and put supper in the oven. Totally cheated tonight and pulled a curry out of the freezer, and we're just having that. Simon is actually working late tonight because I don't think he's going to be in the office very much tomorrow or Thursday, or actually that much on Friday either, because Gus is going back to school, so he's doing the airport run while Coco and I go and watch Indy compete Fifi. I mean, the combination of Indy, Fifi and Coco is just ridiculous, isn't it, guys? You're going to have to get used to it because I think I'm going to be saying it quite a lot in the coming weeks. But such a happy kind of late afternoon adventure with Coco, and yeah, really thrilled. So I'm going to go and whack this curry in to heat it up, and actually I wanted to say try and get an early night. That is not going to happen. I have got more name taping to do, so actually I will get to sit down, I will get to put my feet up, but I will be name taping because I probably won't want to name tape tomorrow night, and I think I've done 90% of it. Although I took him shopping and they went on a booze run for the party, and they did school shoes, football boots, and got a few t-shirts and socks and stuff for Gus. So I need to name those. So I've got a pile of naming, which I'm just going to finish. Beth has actually helped with Gus's packing today, which has been, it's so helpful having her. It means I can do double the amount of stuff. And because I'd booked her in to help do the cooking, and then Sarah was like, darling, the numbers have got out of control, we're going to get somebody to do it. They're just doing the main course. Somebody to do it. And Beth has already booked in, so I didn't want to cancel her. I didn't want to muck her around. And it's just been so helpful. Like today, when I had my big meeting, she just actually got on and did a whole load of stuff for me. She's so capable, she's so incredible. So she's here again tomorrow, but she started Gus's packing with him, so I'd already named a lot of his clothes, and you know, he has to have all of his home clothes, school uniform, sports kit, all of that stuff, and he has grown like a weed. So super helpful having Beth to help with that. But I'm going to go in, finish his name taping this evening, have a curry and a cup of tea, a cup of, I think, jasmine tea, utterly delicious, and try and not go to bed too late. It's currently already 7:05. Good morning. It is all happening here. They are putting up the marquee. All of the plates and glasses and cutlery has arrived. It is action stations. Look, there we are. Very windy. very windy. Very grateful to be having that because it is quite windy. But anyway, I'm going to go and chat to them. And then I need to go and pick Coco up because she's just riding Fifi over to Indies because she is going to be there for the next few days. So the marquee is up and looking amazing. I will take you out there in a minute, but now I need to go and get myself ready because I'm about to be on BBC Wales. Can't quite believe it. They called a couple of days ago and said, could they interview me? So that's what's happening. I think we're talking about trad wives again, homemaking, practical skills, all of that. So yes, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can link it. It'll be on BBC Sounds, I suppose. I'm not sure, but anyway. Another radio interview. It's like the busiest day. I've got so much going on. It's kind of crazy here. But it's fine. At least it's taking my mind off what needs to be done. I thought I would come and shut myself in here in our snuggly room and hopefully the acoustics are good and hopefully nobody knocks on the front door because it's a little bit like Clapham Junction at the moment. There's a lot going on. So here we are. The lads have just finished and actually they've just really sweetly listened to me on the radio. They've stopped to have their lunch. Look, here they are. Spen from Ground Control Marquees, and look at this amazing space that we've got. They are lovely lads. Arrived at 9:30. It's now 1:20. It's all up, ready, tables. Look at these. These are the luxury ones, aren't they, Ben?
These are the handmade ones.
They're the handmade tables because that way we didn't need tablecloths, which is, you know, one less thing to wash and iron. Got to be practical. And then I love these chairs. So we're going to put the food on the tables here. We felt it was really important to have the view. Look at the grass, it's completely sort of brown and whatever, but anyway, that's the story of this summer, isn't it? So we can open up these sides and have the view, but if it's a little bit windy, then we can keep them down and still get the view. But actually the wind normally comes from across that way, so we've got the sides there, but it can all be open or not depending on the weather. But this is really exciting. So I'm going to leave Ground Control Marquees link down below. They're local. And then I have got Dress for Dinner coming to help lay the tables later. I've got my lovely friend Shah Johnson bringing the flowers. So it's literally all go. It's falling into place. Simon has had to go up to London. So I'm taking the boys to the hairdressers, but I'm about to pop to Petworth quickly to pick up the candles and a few other bits and pieces. So that is the plan, but this is really exciting. It is coming together so nicely. So I also forgot to tell you it's Simon's birthday in a couple of days, so I popped into Petworth to pick up a present. And when I was in Petworth, I've mentioned that to you before, they suggested coming in to Tallulah Fox to get candles. Apparently they've got the most enormous selection of candles downstairs, so we're going to go and have a look at candles because we've got 25 candlesticks that need candles in. So, oh my goodness, look. This is like candle heaven. Look. They're hanging, we've got all sorts. This is like a whole entire candle room. So I'm going to choose some candles pretty quickly. Beth has told me that she's going to be back from doing the food shop in about 5 minutes. So I need to get candles and scob home PDQ. But this is candle heaven in Tallulah Fox in Petworth. I keep telling you guys that you don't need to go to London, you just need to come to Petworth, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I'm back from my rushed trip to Petworth. Everything is under control. Beth is an absolute superstar. She's actually taking the boys to the barber so I can lay tables with Sarah from Dress for Dinner. Simon's best man sadly can't be with us because he's just had an operation, but he sent these today. Aren't they just, I mean, like the colours could not be more perfect. So those have come from the Pulborough flower shop. If you wonder what that funny noise is, Florence is lying on the floor, wagging her tail, saying, "Pick me up, mummy, I want to say hello to everybody." Here she is. These have come from the Pulborough flower shop and they are just simply stunning. It is so exciting. So if you've got to the end of this week's vlog, leave party in the comments, and I hope that you will join me next week as I share more of our celebrations with you all. We are going to go and start making the marquee look beautiful, lay the tables, do all of the girly bits. But thank you so much for joining me this week. It is very, very exciting. I am literally like, ah! Anyway, thank you. Lots of love. Have a super weekend, and I hope to see you soon. From Florence and I, little rat bear. Yes.